very carefully. So we're going to begin with the first point is whenever you are given a scan, so look for the brain area. So so as you can see on the left of my screen, you can see a CT scan. So this is a CT scan, and on the right of the screen you can see whatever you see here is the MRI scan. So on the CT scan the brain looks like this, and on the MRI the brain looks like this. So whenever you're given a scan, on a CT scan the brain soft tissue will always look like a grain of sand or uniform density soft tissue shadow, grayish. So you cannot see any sulci or gyri as you see on the MRI over here. You will never be able to differentiate between the two halves of the brain. As you can see over here, you cannot appreciate any fissure as you can see on the MRI. So basically what you can see on the CT scan is all bone, but not the soft tissue very clearly. So this was the first point of identifying if it's a CT scan or an MRI scan. See, on the MRI scan, as you can see over here, you can clearly differentiate the two lobes of the brain. That's the right cerebral, that's the left cerebral. So you can also appreciate the alternate white and the gray. That is the gray matter and the white matter. You can see the sulcus, you can see the gyri. So if you keep on going behind, you can appreciate the surface very well. And as you keep on going behind, you can see the fissure, you can see the corpus callosum on the coronal view. As you keep on going behind, you can see the ventricles as well. So you can see the ventricles full of CSF, and as you keep on going further behind, you can actually see the area of the cerebellum. So not just a soft tissue, you can actually see the cerebellum tentori, the tree-shaped appearance of the cut surface of the cerebellum. So you can actually appreciate the entire structure of the brain in detail. So this is how you can identify brain on a given scan. So if you see something like this, it is always a CT scan, and if you see something like this, it is always an MRI with a lot of alternate white and gray structures. So always remember this. This is how brain looks like on the MRI and the CT scan. So that's the first point. Now what's the second point? Second point is always look for bone. Now it's very easy for us to see a bone on the CT scan, but not so much on the MRI, because MRI bone is black. So just like air over here, you can see all the black, exactly like that the bone will look like on the MRI. So let's begin with the CT scan. I'll just correspond these two structures.